How many carbs are in a half ounce of lime juice? 2.6 grams. It's negligible. Wow, you got 15 mojitos and be totally fine. Welcome to the Savage Kitchen Mojito Lab. Today, we are going to be experimenting with one of my favorite cocktails, the Mojito. The Mojito, there's a lot of lore around it. People are very protective of their recipes. There's a lot of different ways to make a Mojito. But this today was inspired by making a keto-friendly version of a Mojito, a Keto Mojito, which you have to dance when you say it. And the reason for that is I have people in my life, and my mother encouraged me, my very first video about keto simple syrup, who have people in my life who have a low sugar diet, and those people should be able to enjoy a cocktail, I think. So we're gonna do a little taste testing today. We're gonna make a version with a keto simple syrup. I have here a simple syrup that I made with allulose. Now, I'm going to link to another episode I've done that is all about simple syrup alternatives or sugar alternatives to make simple syrup. In that episode, I tested 4 or 5 different sugar replacements, and this was by far my favorite. This is allulose. It, to me, is almost indistinguishable from just plain white sugar. You could also use erythritol, you could use monk fruit, and then there are various combinations of the two. I'm using pure allulose though, because personally, this is what I like. And I really think that it's going to be hard to tell the difference between the allulose simple syrup and the white sugar simple syrup. But since we're in the lab today, and this is really a science experiment, we're also going to experiment in the method with which we make the Mojito. So some people prefer to use already squeezed, it's fresh, lime juice, and already made simple syrup. And then some people prefer to use granulated sugar and lime wedges. Different schools of thought on each. The idea is it is a little bit easier to batch a cocktail, and you might incorporate flavors a little bit more easily with the simple syrup and lime juice. And then the using the sugar and the lime wedge method is just a little more like OG. Like, this is how they make it in Cuba. So let's get into it. First things first, I think we're actually gonna blind taste this. I have a lovely assistant here helping me today, who, after I construct these drinks, I'm gonna disappear. He's gonna put them in whatever order, and I'm gonna go down the line and taste, and we'll see if we can really tell the difference. So to mix them first, let's mix our pre-made simple syrups. Ratios are gonna be the same in all of these. We are going to take a sprig of mint for each one, and you always wanna smack your mint around, but really this mint is going to be muddled gently. We don't need to pulverize the mint, but we're gonna gently muddle the mint in each glass. And you can leave it whole or strip the leaves. Gonna strip the leaves. Not that you couldn't use this as a little stir stick, you could. And then with this, we're gonna muddle 3/4 of an ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice. There's a lot of buzz about super juice right now too that I'm sure you could use. I personally have not tried it yet because it's just not that hard to squeeze a lime. And this one is going to be our plain white sugar simple syrup. So keep track of which one's which. And we're going to do 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. Ooh, I might have been a little heavy. Okay, so we're going to muddle these a little bit before adding our rum. And really just a gentle kind of push and twist. A lot of bartenders get really upset about making mojitos and they get like really aggressive. They can settle down. It just needs a gentle muddle. To this, we're going to add 2 ounces of white rum. I mean, I could just turn it over and use the 2 ounce, but it's kind of messy setting it down then, and my OCD is in high gear today. All right. We're going to add ice, stir, and then top with soda. And garnish with a little more mint. Make sure to kind of massage this mint too. You'll notice as soon as you do this, it's instantly more fragrant. Really nice. And it's not just to make it look pretty. So when you're sipping this drink now, you're gonna get the scent of the lime and the scent of the mint. Okay, mojito number 1. Keeping track? All right, mojito number 2, allulose simple syrup, and then the same, everything else. And also, if you like your drink sweeter, put more simple syrup in. Honestly, like, you do you. This is just sort of a standard recipe to follow. Oop. Might have gone a little overboard with that one. So rum, even though it is made from sugarcane, white rum is net zero carbs. There's no carbs in it. And also, if you're concerned about the sugar from the lime juice, there's actually only 2 grams of carbs in 3/4 of an ounce of lime juice. So this truly is a very, very low carb, keto friendly drink. A little mint sprig. So mojito number 2, allulose with squeezed mint. Oh, and a garnish. Thank you. Okay, moving on in our very scientific lab test, we're going to prepare this in a more traditional manner. So let's start with the just plain white granulated sugar. We're going to take a teaspoon. Which doesn't seem like a lot to me, but that's what the interweb said, so that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to squeeze the equivalent of 3/4 of an ounce of lime, which everything I read said 2 lime wedges. That really does not seem like enough to me, but we're going to throw the lime wedge in because this is going to get muddled also. You know, we're going to go 3 because I just don't think that's enough lime. And I like my mojito to have lots of lime punch. And then our mints. Okay, so I just had the realization that I've tricked myself. This is actually the allulose that we're making right now, which kind of funny that to look at it, I genuinely cannot tell the difference between regular sugar and allulose. But this is in fact allulose that we're mixing for this one. So thank God I have somebody here checking me and making sure my continuity is set. I'm gonna be a little more aggressive muddling this one because I really want to squeeze the limes and get all those lovely oils from the rind. 2 ounces of rum. This one already seems very different. Like the liquid volume is different from not adding both a syrup and lime juice. Like I think that there's going to be a big flavor difference between the styles. So this is our allulose muddled, not from a simple syrup. Finally, we are doing one with traditional sugar. This is actually powdered sugar, not granulated sugar, because this will dissolve quicker. I'm always hesitant about using powdered sugar in a cocktail because powdered sugar actually has some cornstarch in it. It's not that much, it's not a big deal, but I kind of stay away from it. I was a little light. There we go. So, teaspoon of powdered sugar. And then same thing, we're gonna squeeze some limes and our mint that we're gonna muddle. And again, a little bit more aggressive because I really want to break down those lime wedges. I gotta say, it's actually very hard to resist. I have a tendency whenever I make a cocktail to like taste, and it's taking a lot of my willpower to not do that. Garnish. Straw. Okay, so this is our traditional sugar, powdered sugar, muddled. So I'm gonna take a second, clean up here. My lovely assistant is gonna play a shell game with cocktails, and then we'll come back and taste. Not looking. You're good? I'm thirsty. I'm actually glad we're doing this. Okay. All right. Time for the taste test. Is there a particular order I should go in?
Just go your left or right.
This one? Okay. Starting with this one. And I have to say, before I taste them, it's interesting to me the clarity differences between this one in particular is like super clear compared to the other ones. All right, let's give this a taste. Ooh, these are, I can taste that rum. This one's not terribly sweet to me. Okay, all right. Let's give the second one a taste. Probably should have eaten something today before sipping on 4 mojitos at once. So, okay, flavor difference between these two for sure. And I got more carbonation out of this one. All right, let's try this. These two are very hard to tell apart so far. And that one tastes sweeter. Wow. Okay, hold on. I'm going to tell you what I think they are first. Okay, I think that this one is the Allulose simple syrup and pre-squeezed lime juice. Am I right?
Yes.
I am. Wow. All right. What's interesting to me, this is, so of the 4, this one's actually the sweetest. And it's not a huge difference. These all taste very similar. But this one is a little bit sweeter, shockingly. Okay, I think, so if that's the Allulose, I think that this one, I think that that's the regular sugar and pre-squeezed lime juice.
Yep.
It is? Yeah, 2 for 2. Awesome at this. Oh, well now, cheating. I can see the limes in these, so these clearly are the 2. So these are clearly the 2 where we muddled the limes. Super scientific. Science. Okay. So which one is Allulose? I think this one's Allulose and this one is regular sugar. Yes! Should do taste tests like this more often. I love it. Well, okay, for me, verdict is in. I was a little bit skeptical about coming up with a keto mojito because I thought it would just be sort of a meh substitute for somebody who's really trying to be health conscious and watch the sugar. And actually, it is my personal preference. I like the Allulose better. Again, going back to that video I did on keto simple syrups, the Allulose was my favorite, and I think it's definitely worth experimenting with this in cocktails. For example, if you love an old fashioned, maybe it's time to do some Allulose old fashions. Yeah. Wow. Keto mojito for the win. Cheers, friends.